Stitch of the week! It's Stitch of the Week with Craft Yourself Silly, and this week we're going to do a chain stitch. There's a couple of different ways to do this. I'm going to do chain stitch this time. In another Stitch of the Week we'll show you reverse chain stitch, because that's also quite a handy one. So, starting off right from the beginning, didn't show you any samples, I'll show you the samples after, it's fine. So to do a chain stitch, you're coming up and down in more or less the same place, and that will create a little loop. So I'm going to just hang on to that loop. I've made it quite a big one initially, but you'll see why in a second. So we're going to come up a little bit, and we're going to allow that loop to go over the top, and then that creates our starting point for our next stitch. And with chain stitch, one links onto the next, just like in a chain, and you just keep building it up and up and up. So we come back through there, and oops, let's come straight up. There we go. Now the one thing with chain stitch that you want to avoid is you want to avoid twisting your thread. So as I'm doing here, I'm just pulling it straight and then just holding it with my thumb out of the way while I take my next stitch through. So just making sure that it doesn't twist while I'm working with it, because when it starts to twist, it just starts to look a bit odd. So best practice is to keep your thumb on it. So to end a chain stitch, again, I've only done 3 there. To end a chain stitch, all you need to do, because if I just took that out there and pulled the thread, they would all just pop out. It's like knitting, they're all linked together. So to end a chain stitch, what you need to do is just come back down, not in quite that same hole, just a strand or so of thread further across, and that will secure the end of your chain and allow you to have really nice, clear, flat stitches. So I said we'd look at some samples. I shall grab those now. So with chain stitch, there is a lot you can do with it. So these are just this is one of our Stitch-onaries actually. This is the chain stitch one, makes sense. And what we've got here is a first page which just takes you through some of the basics, going backwards, going forwards, going around curves, all of those types of things, and then using different amounts of strands as well, because it does make a difference to the look. This one's working in curves and just having a play with colour, because you can actually use chain stitch as a filling stitch. So really, really nice to have a little bit of a play with. But have a look at our other YouTube videos, because there's lots and lots of other stitches that we've got, and lots of the Stitch-onaries available on craftyourselfsilly.com.